There's a moment in life where everything shifts, where you stop being someone who just survives and start becoming someone who actually lives. And for most people, that moment happens the second they hit $10,000 saved. And today I'm going to tell you something that nobody talks about. It's not about the math. It's not about the investment strategies or the side hustles. It's about what happens inside your head and your heart the moment you see 4 digits sitting in your bank account. We're going to talk about the psychology behind why everything changes after you save your first $10,000, why that number, why that specific moment, and what it actually feels like to cross that threshold. Because once you understand this, you'll never look at saving money the same way again. Let's get into it. Here's what nobody tells you about being broke. When you have nothing saved, your brain literally operates differently. Scientists call it a scarcity mindset. You call it survival mode, and it makes you do things that don't make sense. You stay at a job that eats your soul because you can't afford to risk not having a paycheck. You say yes to things you hate because you need the money. You watch your friends go on vacations and you tell yourself maybe next year, knowing in your gut that next year will say the same thing. You're not thinking about your future. You're not thinking about investments or building wealth or starting that thing you've always wanted to start. You can't. You're thinking about making it to Friday, making it to the next paycheck, making it through another month without everything falling apart. And here's the worst part. When you're in this mode, you make decisions out of fear. Fear of running out, fear of something breaking and not being able to fix it, fear of what happens if you get sick and can't work for a week. And fear-based decisions, they keep you stuck. They keep you running in place while everyone else seems to be moving forward. Now here's what's fascinating. Research from Vanguard shows that having just $2,000 in savings increases your financial well-being by 21%. $2,000, not even a quarter of our target. And it changes how you feel about your entire financial life by over a fifth. That's not about the money. That's about your brain finally getting a break. But something truly magical happens at $10,000. And I want you to really sit with this. It's not about the purchasing power. It's not about what you can buy. It's about what you now believe about yourself. Until you hit 5 figures in your account, all of this feels theoretical. You read about people who have money saved and you think, yeah, that's nice for them, but it doesn't feel real to you. It doesn't feel like something you can actually do. Then, one day, after months of saying no to things you wanted, after skipping the fancy coffee, after watching your bank account grow digit by digit, you look up and there's a $10,000 sitting there. And something inside you changes. You look at that number and your brain goes, oh, I can actually do this. That's it. That's the shift. You stop being someone who's trying to get ahead and you become someone who's actually getting ahead. And that belief, that identity shift, it changes everything. You stop panicking when a $500 expense shows up. You stop falling for every quick money scheme online. You stop feeling like money is this scary thing that's always running away from you. Because now you've proven to yourself, not with theories, not with books, but with actual numbers in your actual account, that you can build something, that you can control this, that you are the kind of person who saves $10,000. And once you believe that, the next $10,000 doesn't feel impossible, it feels inevitable. This is where things get interesting. Psychologists call it a confidence loop. Each milestone you hit reinforces the belief that you can hit the next one, and that belief makes you behave differently. You make bolder decisions, you take better risks, you start thinking about your life in years instead of paychecks. Think about it this way. Without savings, a job offer comes in that's 20% more money, but it's in a different city. You turn it down because you can't afford to move. You can't afford the risk of leaving your current job before you have something solid. With $10,000 in the bank, that same offer comes in. You think about it. Maybe you even take it because worst case scenario, you have money to fall back on. You have a buffer. You have options. That freedom isn't about the money. It's about what the money represents. It's proof that you're not trapped, that you're not stuck, that you can actually make decisions based on what you want, not just what you can afford. And that changes your entire relationship with life. You start taking opportunities instead of avoiding disasters. You start building instead of just surviving. And that momentum, that feeling of moving forward, it becomes addictive.
Now, let's talk about something nobody talks about. What it's like to finally stop thinking about money all the time. This is the part that changed my life, and I'm guessing it might change yours too. When you have nothing saved, you think about money constantly. You think about it in the shower. You think about it when you're trying to sleep. You think about it during dinner with your friends, and you see them spending money like it's nothing. Studies show that people without emergency savings spend over 7 hours a week thinking about and dealing with their finances. 7 hours. That's like a full workday every single week, just being stressed about money. But when you hit $10,000, that number drops dramatically. You still check your account, you still care about your money, but you're not thinking about it in that panicky, desperate way anymore. You're thinking about it like a person who has options, like a person who's in control. And that mental break, that freedom from constant money anxiety, it ripples into everything else. You sleep better, you're more productive at work, you're more present with your family, you're less reactive, less stressed, less overwhelmed. The research actually confirms this. Workers without emergency savings are 4 times more likely to be distracted at work due to financial stress. 4 times. That means they're not just suffering at home, they're suffering at work. And work suffering means career suffering. Career suffering means income suffering. It's a cycle, and $10,000 is how you break it. Now, here's the part that people get wrong about money. They think there's some secret investment world that opens up once you have money, some exclusive club where the rules are different. The truth? It's just math. Basic math working in your favor. Here's what I mean. Say you put $1,000 into something that grows 10%. You make $100. Nice. Not life-changing, but nice. Now take that exact same 10% growth and apply it to $10,000. Suddenly, you're making $1,000 from the same investment in the same time frame with the same level of risk. The strategy doesn't change. The knowledge doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the scale. And scale transforms small percentage wins into actual financial progress. Before $10,000, your money is working, but it feels invisible. After $10,000, your money is working and you can actually see it. You can see the returns hitting your account. You can feel your wealth growing, even when you're not grinding. That's when saving stops feeling like sacrifice and starts feeling like investment, because now your money is actually doing something visible. And watching your money work for you, that's a feeling that can't be described. It can only be experienced. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Your first $10,000 isn't about being rich. It's not about some magic number that solves all your problems. It's about proving to yourself that you can do this, that you have control, that you're not a victim of your circumstances. It's about giving your brain a break from constant fear and finally starting to think like someone who's building something instead of just surviving. And if you're watching this thinking, I don't even have $1,000 right now, let alone $10,000, I hear you. I'd been there. A lot of us had been there. But here's the thing. The research shows that the habits that get you to your first $10,000, the discipline, the tracking, the automation, the consistency, those habits don't just disappear once you hit the milestone. They compound, they grow, they take you to the next milestone and the one after that. So start small if you need to. Save $500, save $1,000, but start. Because somewhere between $0 and $10,000 is the person you're going to become, and that person, they're not going back. That's it. That's the psychology behind why everything changes after you save your first $10,000. If this hit home for you, you'll probably resonate with this video right here. Check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.